Hello everyone and welcome to the finals of the 2020 Chessable Masters. It's again Magnus Carlsen versus Anish Giri, and after game 2 that Magnus won, game 3 was a draw. So here, this is game 4 of the match, and Giri is in a must-win situation. He must win on demand with black, which is not easy, especially against a player like Magnus. But it is what he needs to do to stay alive in this match. So without further ado, let's check it out. And I would just like to congratulate the winners of yesterday's arenas. So let me just check that out. So the winners are the Modest Guy, Tigran Gazarian, and Yozarov. Those are the winners of the top 3 places. Followed by Travis Nemata, Aregnav, Incredible 123, Naiko, Wanted 101. We Will All Die, and Shatak. And those are the winners of the agadmator's Friday Arena, and the winners of Medo Arena are Hand Sanitizer, Team Agad, and Tejas Law. Followed by Bach Robert PL, Smangaliso 127, Kaka 99966, D-Clan 44441, Arix, Medo Means Fear, underscore Brazil, and Medo 1700. So congratulations everyone, and hope to see you all back next Friday. Now getting back to this game, and it is a very interesting one. We now go into it. So Magnus with the white pieces opens with e4, and Giri replies with c5. When you need a win, then you go for the Sicilian. Knight f3, we have d6 and bishop to b5 check. Magnus goes for the canal attack. We have knight to d7 blocking, and now a4. A4 very useful, as it slows down black's development on the queen side. Also in the future you can go a5, a6, but also if black tries to kick away your bishop, you don't allow b5 for one of the reasons. So just knight f6 going after the pawn, and knight to c3 defending. We have g6 from Giri, and a5 now. We have bishop g7, Giri prepares the castle, and now while you can go a6 and try and play a game like that, it has been tried, we have just castles from Magnus. And now Giri kicks the bishop back with a6. We have bishop back to e2, and now Giri castles, and rook to e1. Now, when the bishop moves, the rook will nicely be also helping out with the defense of the pawn, and also you might have some e5 ideas in the future if this knight ever moves from d7. And here, there is a game in the database where knight to b8 was played from the Russian team championship. I don't remember. I don't know who played. I think maybe Valentina Gunina had white. Artemiev had the black pieces. But here we have b5, and it is now a new move. So already as of move 9 we have a completely new game. And now Magnus, of course, he doesn't want to allow this structure to remain and face b4, so he captures on b6 en passant. So we have bishop to b7. There's always time to recapture, so there's no rush. It is attacked twice, so it's not a problem. d3, defending the e4 pawn, and only now Giri captures. But now the knight no longer guards the e5 square, and Magnus takes this opportunity to strike in the center with e5. We have knight f to d5 by Giri. Now the knight on b6 shows up useful as the defender of this knight. Magnus trades once, captures, and now e captures on d6. We have e captures on d6 and c3 now, numbing the power of this dark square bishop. And now usually this will be a weak pawn. However, black really controlled this well, and we didn't have the open Sicilian where white broke in the center with d4, so this pawn will not really be all that weak. So rook to e8 by Giri, and now bishop to d2. We have queen to b6, putting pressure on the b2 pawn, and queen to c2 now by Magnus, and a5. We have h3 from Magnus, and bishop to c6 now. The bishop will be more useful there. Maybe it will help out with the support of a4. You can switch places. Queen b7, bishop here. You can have a nice battery here. So all in all, a very useful move. Magnus goes d4. He strikes in the center. We have c captures, knight captures, now attacking the bishop here. But now a very nice trick from Giri, knight to b4. Now putting pressure on the queen, and of course if this is captured, then you capture on d4. And this is exactly what Magnus goes for. We have c captures on b4, bishop captures on d4, and now just goes for b captures on a5. And here Magnus created a very strong pass pawn while allowing the capture on f2. So Giri goes for it, bishop captures on f2, and now as the king is in check, king to f1. And now, okay, you don't have time to capture the rook right away because the queen is hanging, but now queen to d4. And there's still the issue of what to do with the rook. Now, what you should do here is actually queen to c3. Giving up the exchange here is definitely the way to go. For example, after queen captures, bishop captures, you give up the exchange, and after this is captured, you still have your passed pawn on a5, which is incredibly strong, and you still have the bishop pair. So that's well worth the exchange. However, Magnus went for queen captures on c6. He said, okay, you capture my rook, but I'm going to take 2 of your pieces. However, there's a problem here. Now, feel free to pause the video and figure out the problem while I give you a couple of seconds. So for those of you who were able to do it, congratulations on spotting the obvious move. And for those of you who just want to enjoy the show, it's bishop captures on e1. Yes, it's usually not the most obvious move, but here it is. And it is because there's a problem with recapturing the bishop. For example, if rook recaptures, then you lose the bishop here. And now it's 2 rooks against the rook and bishop, and white will really struggle here. There's already an attack here on this pawn. This is a weak pawn, and the white king is wide open on f1. Another thing, if king captures to kind of guard the bishop, then queen g1 is checkmate, since the bishop cannot defend. The rook just pins the bishop. So Magnus did the only thing he could. He played bishop captures on e1. Now there is no capture, which of course makes sense. There is no checkmate, but Giri finds the beauty. Queen captures on b2, and now this comes with a double attack on the rook and on the bishop here, and you don't have all that much to do. And Magnus was he was very disgusted here. Here we even have a short clip of how disgusted he was, so let's just enjoy that for a second. This is what happened after Giri played queen captures on b2. So let's just check it out. There's queen captures on b2 played. Now he ponders on that. Now there's the surprise, and there's the disgust. Yes, it's there it is. Very nice. And now, of course, in the end, a little bit of laughing, as he knows he now has to, that the game is lost, and he has to go into blitz tie breaks. So here, Magnus just played bishop to f3, and also in this position, he resigned the game, as there is nothing more to be done here. Even if you, I don't think this was an actual move. I think he just picked up the bishop, maybe saw that also everything was hanging, and then he just, you know, dropped it and clicked resign. He didn't. The bishop f3 move doesn't make any sense. But even if you try to like save the rook, let's say queen c3 or moving the rook, you have to allow this capture, and after king g1, it's still very much unplayable for white. So yeah, incredible find by Giri. He wins the game with black on demand, and he equalizes the match in game 4. So incredible development. And now they go into blitz tie breaks, which we are also going to cover after this video. So that's the game. I do hope you enjoyed it. I would like to thank Abdullah Rajeh, Donald Brady, Kwan Trangia, Hamid Mazouij, and Lucinda Lester for your contribution to my channel. Thank you a lot. I really appreciate it. As usual, you can check 2 of my previous videos here. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you soon, continuing the coverage of the Chessable Masters 2020, checking up on your wonderful suggestions and whatever else happens in the chess world. So thank you all. I will see you soon, and have an excellent rest of your day. And if you haven't seen the new video by agadmator, do check it out. The link will be the first thing in the description below. See you soon.